If you think a folding phone is cool, then look at this triple folding phone. And it's a 10-inch tablet that can literally fit inside your pocket, and it can fold into a 6-inch phone. So we'll start with the most important thing about this phone that makes it different from all the other phones. That is the screen of this phone. Also, it's a trifold. When you have a regular folding phone and you unfold it, it becomes a square aspect ratio. And once you play any video on it, the problem is that you have a black top and a black bottom crease. That's a very massive, and the video size that's playing in that phone is very close to a regular bar phone. So it doesn't make sense that you consume content on a square aspect ratio. And most of the apps are not even optimized to be used on a square aspect ratio, like Instagram and Subway Surfer, and like games also are not like even optimized for that. This is where it gets interesting. This phone folds into a 9:16 aspect ratio, and once you play any content on it, it is a full size, and it is a major difference. It's a 10-inch display, and you can even use it vertically and even play games. The good part about that is you don't have to unfold it all the way. It is also a regular folding phone that only unfolds once, and then it is also a folding phone that unfolds twice. So it's also a trifold. I'm not sure why it is called trifold, but it only unfolds twice. Maybe it has 3 panels, that's why, but we don't call a regular folding phone dual fold phone, but that's how they decided to name it. So before we unfold this phone, I want to show you the screen. So firstly, the display is a very soft panel. It is not a hard glass. So anything in your pocket will dent the screen, and it will be a permanent dent which cannot be fixed. And it is not just the screen, even the bezel itself is very soft. I had my second phone in the pocket and it pressed against it and it had a permanent damage. And once you see this phone from the front, you can see all 4 corners black, because the 3 sides are the real bezel, and the 4th side is optimized by the software, and they have done a really good job that creates a illusion that there's a bezel there, and it creates a really nice symmetry there. Okay, so let's unfold this device. There's a proper way of unfolding and folding this phone. To unfold it, you have to open it from the middle first, and then you have to open it from the back. It is a very strong magnet, so you have to use some force. For the first time, I was quite scared that I'm going to break this phone, but it's not going to break. And even for folding the phone, you have to fold the left panel first and then fold it like a book. And to unfold this phone, the first fold is quite scary, because on the left side you're holding the screen and pulling it away from the other side. For the first time when I did it, it was quite scary, but I got used to it. You just have to be a little delicate with it. Another cool thing about this folding and unfolding is that as soon as you cross close to roughly around 80 or 90 degrees range, the software itself changes the screens. As soon as you open more than like around 90 degree, it changes and splits the screen into 2. And I'm surprised how strong these magnets are that you cannot accidentally open this phone. It has one exposed side that is facing outside, and as soon as you get used to holding this delicate piece of tech, it's a really amazing phone. I mean, it's a 10-inch tablet folds into a 6-inch phone that fits in your pocket. It comes with the original case that covers the side, and once you fold the phone, it folds onto the phone and clips on, and then it protects the side. I just don't have it right now with me. This phone comes with a pre-installed screen protector that is already an inbuilt part of the screen. I am not sure why they call it a screen protector, but it is a part of the screen that you're not supposed to peel. And it even gives you a warning as soon as you start up the phone for the first time. And the worst part is that I almost peeled it, and I started peeling it, and then I just realized that I should do some research, and then I figured out that it is part of the screen that we're not supposed to peel. And if we mess up that thing, you have successfully ruined your phone. Just because this display is not a glass and it is a very soft display, anything in your pocket is going to scratch it. And if you press near the hinge area, and if you see from an angle, you can even see the unevenness and bumps around the hinge area. You can damage it very easily. And of course, you have now 2 creases that are really visible. As long as you're not noticing them, they kind of get invisible to the eyes, and if you see from an angle, it is there and it is really visible. And now, talking about the body of this phone, it is only 3.6mm thin, and once it is folded, it is only 12.8 millimeter thin, and comparing it to an iPhone 17 Pro Max, that is 8.8 millimeter. So it's a little thick, but it's not as thick if you think about it. Once you hold this phone in your hand, you can feel the difference that it is a little thicker phone, and also it is only 298 grams in comparison to iPhone 17 Pro Max, that is 233 grams. For the first time it feels heavy, and maybe in a day you get used to it and then it feels normal. Once you unfold this phone once, the camera bump is so thick, even it is thicker than the two folded sides. Talking about the camera of this phone, it has a front selfie camera and it has a back camera. So the front camera is a 8 megapixel hole punch camera that is on the extreme left screen, and then the main camera housing is an octagonal camera module that's equipped with a triple lens system. The main camera is a 50 megapixel and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Of course, it has a layered scanner and a really amazing flash, and it also has a variable aperture from 1.4 to 4 that perfectly controls the lighting that goes inside the sensor. That means you can unfold this phone once and still continue to use the back camera as a selfie camera, and you can do some pretty serious vlogging on this thing. Speaking of that, then you can even unfold that phone, and there are multiple ways that you can use this phone. I am really surprised that how they have made it work, and they have really integrated the software in such an amazing way. You can even use your phone as a stand to put it on the desk, and it can even record you from there. And of course, you're going to scratch one of the screens. You have to be very delicate about it, but it's cool that you can do it. And not only for camera, you can even consume content on the screen by putting it as a stand. There are multiple ways. You can use it as a L, you can fold it and just lift one screen and see it. There are so many ways that you can use this phone. It's unbelievable. On the right side of the phone, you have the volume buttons, and then you have a power button, and power button includes the fingerprint sensor, and that is super fast. Once you swipe your finger on it and it's unlocked. At the bottom of the phone, on the extreme right corner, you have speakers. Then you have a Type-C port. Look at the port, how amazingly thin it is, that it's barely fitting on the phone. And then you have a SIM card slot, and in the middle display at the bottom you have a microphone. And then on the top left side you have speakers again, and then at the top middle you have another microphone. And then on the right display you have infrared sensor. If you take a look at the back of the phone, it has a very nice black leather texture with a metal finish of golden color that makes a very cool looking and a very rich color combination. And of course, this phone is equipped with wireless charging and also reverse wireless charging. So that's it about hardware. Now let's get into the software of this phone, and this is where it gets a little dark. So first of all, there are two versions of this phone. One is the global and the other one is Chinese. And I only got my hands on the Chinese version of this phone. So first of all, you turn on the phone, it is full of Chinese bloatware. But thank God you can disable them. All the apps that it is running are in Chinese. The web browser language and the keyboard, everything is in Chinese. For an Android device, I'm used to using a Google keyboard, but this is completely full of Chinese bloatware. You can work your way around. You can disable most of the Chinese app. You can disable the keyboard and install a new one. Of course, you can install a different web browser, but even after that, you will continue to get some Chinese notification that you have no idea where they're coming from, unless you understand that language. And if you're trying to run any Google services app, this is where it gets interesting. For Harmony OS 4, you cannot run any Google services, but you can still manage your way around to run any of the Google apps except Android Auto. For the most part, you're able to download an APK app and just install on the phone, but for any Google apps, you have to download an emulator, which makes your Google services think that you're logging into a Samsung phone, and then it runs it. I know this because I received an email notification, and also Mr. Who's the Boss mentioned it in his video.
I know because I got the email confirmation for it.
Also with the Gbox, you can only run one Google app at a time. You cannot do any multitasking. About the software, it's really smooth. For any of the app, you see that thing at the bottom, you swipe up these apps and it opens a separate window that's a widget. And talking about widgets, and you can have a quick view instead of having your screen full of widgets. You can take a quick preview of that widget and just close it back again, and that I find is really amazing. You can even stack your widgets and then you can open that stack and view everything together, and these scroll so smoothly. It is a new interface we have not seen in any other phone before. And of course you have a side panel for multitasking, that you can open apps into a window or into a full screen, or even you can split screen from here. Some of the apps are really customized, like weather app. It works in a single screen and a dual screen and also in a triple screen. But a lot of the apps are not even customized and they don't work properly. Like if you install any Android game on this phone, it loads forever or it just crashes. Also on this operating system, Google Maps doesn't work at all. Any app that is going to be using location services like Uber or Maps, it doesn't work. At this point in the video, someone really wanted to buy this phone from me just because I had the older operating system on this phone. That got me wondering why. Usually I hate updates, but I did what a reasonable tech YouTuber would do. I updated the phone. And with the new operating system, they really took the good features from Apple and Samsung both. They took the Now bar from Samsung and a new control center. And they also added a dynamic island just like Apple. They also added a widget panel that you can access once you swipe left from the home screen. So as soon as I updated the phone, the first thing that I noticed was the keyboard was different. There was no way that I could change that keyboard even after my Google keyboard was installed in the phone. And then after some research, I figured out that it's no longer an Android based operating system. It's a Huawei kernel, and that's a different language of operating system. I quickly realized all my apps are gone and everything is just disabled, and as soon as you click the app, it won't work. For a detailed video about how to fix this problem, I'm going to leave a link below, but we figured out a way and I fixed it. So all in all, it's not an Android based system, but it's running a sandbox environment inside the phone that emulates the Android operating system, and you're able to run the apps very smoothly. And you know what they did? They made it even better that you're able to install any of the Google Play Services apps directly from their app store into the phone. So now this way, you're really able to use all the Android apps, including Google Services app, natively on the phone without using any Gbox or any third-party services. The only thing that I figured out didn't work on this phone was wallet services, including Google Wallet or Huawei Wallet and Android CarPlay. So that concludes that Harmony OS 6 is better than Harmony OS 4, that it can natively run all the Android and Google Services app without any hacks. So as Marcus and Arun mentioned that it is just a party trick phone and it has a very old chipset, it makes sense because none of the apps work on this phone properly and it can only do basic things. So I could only use this phone for Netflix and YouTube. That would crash once in a while. So let me know in the comments what you think about this phone and would you ever buy or try for it. And thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.